F3 category. I'm Brett Keenan, joined in commentary again by Mark Bratby, and we saw 50 minutes ago a very interesting conclusion to the Mexican Grand Prix for the F4 category, round 9 of their championship of 11. We head now to round 19 of 21 for the F3 championship. Sterling West looking to try and put his hand on the championship trophy today. If he can do a good result here, he could be in with a shot for wrapping up the F3 championship. Matthew Elliott will be looking to try and change that result with a good result this weekend, as well as Yevgeny Delacour. Mark, welcome to the program. First and foremost, what's your take on Mexico, and how do you think these drivers are going to tackle it in strategy land?
Morning, evening, afternoon to everybody. How would I describe Mexico? Bit of a weird track. You've got, I think it's the second longest straight over the season, only behind Baku, so you really need a lot of top end speed, but then, Sector 2's a lot of downforce, quick cornering, so it's a bit of a funny track. Not personally one of my favourites, but we'll get there with it. Strategy-wise, I would not have a clue. I don't even know what tyres we're allowed to run around here.
Ultra soft and super soft. So we saw the two-stop played out for most of the drivers today. So a sleek couple did the one-stop, but didn't quite really have the pace to initialise it to be up the front. The top three, again, for those who are just viewing, Albert Ramirez Garcia taking the win from Luke Ringham, and Cameron Betts on his F10 F1 return on the podium. So interesting to see that play out. Let's see what we can see this weekend. Can we see a repeat of form for Robin Kreft against Sterling West and Tyler Beasley? We will certainly find that out today. Can Matthew Elliott spring back from quite an adverse couple of race weekends to get himself back in the championship hunt? What can Yevgeny do? He's been under pressure lately to perform up to standard. Can he find a way back into championship contention? And furthermore, this interesting development in the Constructors' Points Championship. Haas currently leading the way. Of course, Haas's points all accumulated from a single driver, which is Sterling West. So for a single car outfit pretty much to be leading the Constructors against drivers with multi-car teams is quite an interesting development. You're going to see an extra name on the list. There's 14 cars efficiently in the championship, 15 on track. Ethan Lossing's Charger 1000, who unfortunately wasn't able to return from the F4 race after disconnections, being given a bypass into the F3 for today. And we'll see how he fares against, or see if he can redeem himself a little bit after that result. So, heading around into...
So we've got Ghost Recon first on track, with Jaden just behind him in the fourth India. Now they're both out on the Hypers. We have got a few guys out coming out on the Supers. So that's the that's the hardest compound for the weekend. Sorry. So they might just be doing a couple of initial laps, try and get some grip into the track, and then do a flyer on the Ultra, as Matthew Elliott is on. So we get a bit of different strategies here from everyone at the moment.
I wouldn't expect too much from it. We'll probably expect to see most of the faster drivers on the Hypersofts take the remedial position. So Sterling West, who's on the Hypersoft, as far as we're aware, Yevgeny's coming out on the Hypersoft, and Yevgeny, having been given a bit of advice over the week as to what could be improving his qualifying hopes, and that's to not just sit around in the pit lane waiting for drivers to set a time and represent. He needs to get out and go hard, and if he doesn't, then he at least say he tried. So he's out now on the Hypersoft tyre, looking to just get a lap in, even if it means compromising his strategy a little bit. We'll ride with Nicholas Adams, who's... I've just noticed there's 3 cars running the number 4 today. I'm just curious to see because...
So
ooh, actually, never mind.
Sorry?
I could have sworn I just saw a spinning car somewhere, but I've just lost track of it.
So that bit there that Nicholas just went through is that bit where you really want your downforce, but you don't want to be running too much. I was just doing laps in time trial with the default setup. It felt quite good through the middle sector, but of course you run too much wings as he does a 15.7. Jaden does a 16.6. So big gap there between the two, and I did notice that he had on the hot lap.
Lawson to the top. Ken Doyle to the top.
Ken goes to the top.
15.3 on the 15.5 on the supers.
15.5 on the supers, and that's what's that? 4/100ths of a second between first and second at the moment. So pretty good times there.
For
Matthew goes to P5 with 16 flat.
He'll be wanting to improve on that one. The Ultras should be about...
Sterling goes to a 16.1 for his first fly, so he must have made a bit of a mistake. Would expect a bit better from Sterling. Luca goes P3 with a 15.5.
Kyle Wilson to the top with a 15.4 on the hypers.
15.4.
That's not really representative, one would say. I think our pole time was a 14.2 on the hypers set by, I'm going to say Albert.
Yevgeny's getting blocked here, something massively. So he's coming into pits. Pretty sure he invalidated his lap anyway.
Robin Kreeft down in P7 with a 15.9. Luca to the top with a 14.8, so that's more of a representative lap time on the hypers. Tyler Beasley to a 14.9 on the supers. And Matt's improved to a 15.1 on the ultras.
So it's all go here.
And of course a lot of drivers are all wearing the white helmets as part of TNF1 World Unity Day.
Yep.
So for people wondering what that's all about, it's not a commemoration, it's not a special day for anyone more other than us. We're showing the world that we are one, despite of our different ages, races, ethnicities, and culture. We all beat with the same heart, we all think with the same brain, and we are one. So this is everyone that has shown their support is wearing a pure white helmet for this weekend only. Should have probably made them all use a number as well, but that probably would have got confusing. The white helmets in the same number eventually would have got a bit confusing, but I digress from that point. So Sterling hasn't actually improved on his lap time, and he's actually come back in. So on a championship scale of things, this could actually probably
work for Matthew.
It could, but of course we've still got 11 minutes on the clock, so we are second guessing a little bit.
Oh, totally. As Yevgeny comes out for another shot. Now, can you get a clean run this time? He's still got two cars right in front of him, so
one of them travelling really, really slow, and that's actually Nicholas Adams. So I don't know if is that
Nicholas. Yeah.
What's he doing? Is it? Let's look at his. Oh, it's just a really slow outlap. It looks like, but well, actually, it's a really slow flight.
It's still saying he's on his original set of hypers.
Yeah, so it must be just.
I
think I know what he's. Yeah, I think I know what he's done wrong. I think he's gone out, done 2 laps, gone back into the pits, and then hasn't changed his tyres and gone back out. And the reason he's going slow is that if he unfortunately qualifies on those tyres,
Mm,
He won't.
he's not trying to take any life out of him
Yeah, so he's.
by doing this inspection lap.
So we'll just wait and see if he comes in. If he's, I'd be surprised if he would go out for another flyer, because you wouldn't take Hypersofts any longer than 5 laps in a normal race. If you're doing that, you're pretty much asking to just come in lap 2. So Robin's now moved up to P3 with a 1:15.14, which is 1/1000th of a second faster than Matthew Elliott.
Yeah, very well spotted. I'm just watching Yevgeny here. He's coming out of sector 1. He's a bit slidey into turn 1, but I was finding that as well in my little practice session of my own.
Turn 1 is really a corner that I find that you can give it a lot of brake. You can brake a lot later because of the way that the corner widens out, but at the same time you have to be able to swing the car back in to take turn 2 or 2 and 3 at the same time, so that you're not compromising your run too much. You're very slidey coming out of 13, I think it is, heading into the stadium section. We'll see. I think the lap might have been invalidated as he was coming into the first of the sweepers. We'll just see what it is anyway. It's a 14.6.
14, so he's gone top. So very good lap there by Yevgeny.
But he's gonna want to he'd probably be disappointed that he has elected to try and do that on the Hypersoft, where the winning strategy, well, actually the winning strategy was a 2-stop, so everyone.
Tyler comes across the line to start his flight. Sorry, Brett.
Yeah, I'm just
So
why would I'm a bit surprised Tyler's going for a second lap on the Super Softs. I know you can bridge them in, but I would almost think you wouldn't really want to start on any tyre as he goes horrendously wide into 3, which...
Horrendously wide at 3, yeah. As Sterling's bettered his personal best, so he's P6 now. Matthew right in front of him at P4.
So Sterling's actually struggling when it comes to Mexico, so that's fascinating. I would have thought a track like this would have suited Sterling's driving style a bit more than what it's suggesting, although it could be just a case of not wanting
Tyler
to.
Just completely shortcuts the S's.
Yeah, he's probably going to come back in. I would say if we see him, if he cuts through the stadium section, which he actually doesn't. I thought he would have. We saw it in F4 when one of the drivers just shortcut the... Yeah, so...
But if you take too many penalties in qualifying, though, you will get a grid spot penalty, won't you? They don't give you time penalties, they give you full grid spots, pretty sure.
So, no other drivers...
Hayes comes out on an out lap.
Here comes Connor Paisley across the line to see the 15.53, which was actually his previous fastest lap, so he hasn't improved. He's invalidated from the sounds of it. Ken Doyle's doing a pretty good job currently in P9 to Matthew Elliott's P5, so Matt will be just kind of happy that he's got a teammate now that he can actually gauge himself against, and hopefully if they score good points over the weekend, which they did in USA last time out, where they should be looking quite good to leapfrog, or try and leapfrog Renault and the constructors. And especially with Klaas not here this weekend, that'll be a good boost, unless of course Yevgeny wins. But Albert Ramirez goes to the top now with a 14.4.
14.4.
Of course, Albert did win the F4 race, looking to go back to back and win both F4 and F3. I don't think we've had... I think Tyler was the last one to do that, but Tyler wasn't effective. Oh dear me. Have I messed up? Nah, surely not.
Well,
I've just had Sterling call out saying, is corner cutting on regular? be interesting to development. I don't think it's going to matter too much in that regard. Although I'm not seeing overly as Ken goes P2 with a 14.5 on the hypers.
Jesus, go Ken. That's a very good lap. So, we've got a McLaren coming into the stadium sector.
No, it's
Hasn't got a Red Bull.
No,
Red
it's
Bull,
definitely unstruct actually, looking back on it.
Blaze has gone terribly deep. What's he doing here? Coming in the pits? Yes he is. Okay, so if Dano's down, Luca's on his outlet. So this will be Luca's final chance here to sneak pole, or better off front row of the grid.
It's a very good job by, it's actually a very good job by Ken to be on the front row. Can he convert it into a race win? We'll find out sooner or later. Matt's dropped down to P8, so he'll be trying to...
Yeah, and that puts Sterling down to P9 as Matt's out and he's out lap. If Gano's still not out yet, it's not quite over with, so you've got about a minute before they want to get on track.
And that's when the happy time begins, where the drivers all just start trying to punch out the fastest lap. Yeah, just looking back, definitely strict corn cutting, so no drama there. So I guess I guess people are just comparing time trial to qualifying and just noticing that they can be a lot more aggressive. We'll just see what Matt's capable of.
All the S's. So that's a limit point.
Probably trying to make as much ground as he can, but he's actually crept up on the back of one of the Mercedes, which is actually Connor Paisley. Is that Robin's cute? Well, I'm a bit surprised by that, because that's kind of come in to rejoin on track, but Albert gets straight off the racing line and maybe a bit too much. Yeah, maybe a bit too much there. So you want to be careful here because
coming out. If Gano's still not coming out, so could be interesting. Tomorrow is Chargers goes up to P4 on the Ultra stuff, so the 14.7.
Just watching a bit of a moment there. Albert almost kind of collected, almost nearly turned into Matthew Elliott there, but Matthew used Albert a little bit in the same time for slipstream, so we'll see what Matt's capable of as he handles himself through the S's beautifully, in fact. Very nice run there through there by Matthew Elliott. He's going to be, that could have probably done his lap. And he's got
he's still going to have time to do one more if he wants to.
He got Fabio. Fabio got in his way and he's actually ended up into the back of Fabio, and I think that's his qualifying over. I think there's front wing damage, so that's Matthew's qualifying done. That's going to be bad news for Matt. Although if Sterling doesn't improve, we're going to have the top two in the championship starting at the back, but I think without a doubt
Sterling's on the, apart from pole, he's probably in the best spot here. He can still choose his strategy. Being P11, you can still choose your tyre compound, ladies and gentlemen, because I can't.
And thinking about it too, he's on the ultra soft, so unless he improves on his ultra soft time, I don't see an improvement. But yeah, could prove me wrong. He could prove to be better on his ultra softs than his hyper softs, but he's done 2 laps on the hyper soft and they were both 15, so unless he can somehow, I think this lap's invalidated anyway because it's right off the... Here you go, what? 13.9 on the ultra soft, are you kidding me?
Jesus. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was a quick lap. Sorry we didn't get to watch all of it, as we got Albert coming down around the last corner now. What can he pull out? Kenny better his lap. No, he doesn't. Where's Ken? Ken's just coming down the main straight. Oh yeah, sector 1. Ken's got time. Yevgeny's in. Where are you at, son? You're just behind Ken. So this will be interesting here. We got track's very busy at this one slot.
Oh, Jesus.
So we'll jump on board with Ken here and watch him through this final half a lap. Oh, he's very wide in the quick S's. He's going to ruin his time just a little bit. Coming into the stadium section, hard on the brakes. Ride that curve very nicely. And this is the tricky bit for myself.
Tyler Beasley to P2, 14-1 on the Ultras.
He's still on the Ultras. As Kenny does it 14-4.
He doesn't
improve. Yevgeny does it 14-4 as well. So Yevgeny jumps Ken. So that's qualifying, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the only bit it's just Fabio, and Matt's not happy, as shown in the Discord chat, with 3 red angry faces. Clearly obviously feels aggrieved about Fabio impeding him in qualifying.
Yeah,
that'll definitely
Fabio
be.
could have moved over to the left. And
Well,
got out of match.
Well, I think Fabio was on a flyer too. So, under the context of ruling through qualifying, if the driver's on a flying lap, they actually are by entitled to not have to get out of the way of a driver, even if the driver is faster. So, it is.
Yeah, yep.
But in saying that, I mean, there is a bit of rite of passage. So, I suppose, Fabio would probably have a case to answer for, but we'll just wait and see if Matt does decide to release a protest on that one. So these your top 14 drivers. Ashley Lawrence, first time on the wheel.
Yevgeny, Ken, Luca. Can't remember your name. Charges.
Ethan.
Ethan, the only Aussie in this competition, in this category. So, are we going to see a dry race? It does look so. A bit of cloud, might get a bit of rain.
According to Robin, it's apparently no rain at all. So I think again it's gonna contrast back to F2. F2 last round of the weekend always seems to be the wet weather.
Bloody hope not.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I actually find Mexico and the wet to be about as equivalent to, I don't know, probably Hungary and the dry. It's slippery, but it's not as bad. So you tend to have a bit of fun with Mexico in the rain, especially with the straight line effect no longer in play. Mark, I'll leave you to the TKA Media starting grid.
Okay, so P1, I'll just get up my driver's list. Just quickly, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I mean, P1 is rather obvious, but...
Yeah. P1 is Sterling, P2 is Tyler, P3 is Albert, P4 is Yevgeny, P5 is Ken, P6 is Luca, P7 was... Sorry, Brett, you'll have to...
Ethan.
Out with P7. Ethan, as Blaze, and... someone else gets this.
Ashley and Nicholas.
P8, I don't actually have his name in your
P8,
thing.
that's Kyle.
Kyle. P9 is Jaden. P10 is Robin. P11 is Matthew. P12 is Connor. P13 is we got a big crash here in sectors wherever, and then you got Adam and Ashley following up the rear of the grid.
So we're just
Okay,
waiting for
that's
the
a
cars
bit
to
weird.
line up on the grid fully,
You
and
did see
then
them all lagging inside each other there at sector 2, didn't you?
yeah, there's quite a bit of lag going on. I've just come to notice for a little bit, so
But
hopefully it doesn't become too
yeah,
much of
no
a
one's been
drama.
disqualified, so that's a bit weird. As we get a beautiful shot from TV cam here for the start. So the lights build up, it will be a bit of delay like normal.
I was
Five
hoping,
red
I was,
lights.
I was hoping that you'd prove me wrong there. I hope I was going to prove you wrong with that one, but and
Away
they
we
go. Now, hang on.
Robin gets a beautiful start.
Tyler's got
Sterling
beautiful.
gets-
Tyler's got him.
Tyler's got a nice start.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Everyone, here comes the splash zone. Ethan's made up some huge ground. Here we go. Yevgeny up the
Yevgeny
inside
up
of the
the
field,
inside.
and I think he's
Now
actually going to
turns
get
to the
this.
outside.
They're going to go 3
Sterling's back to
wide.
the inside.
Sterling gets the lead. Yevgeny up to
Sterling-
second.
Yeah.
Quite a bit going on.
Albert's pushed back to second last, so he's had a horrible start.
Oh, here comes.
Gene and Tyler are still fighting for P2 here.
Ken's had a good start too. He's up to P4. He's just getting attacked by Luca a little bit.
Luca and Robin.
So good start by Yevgeny to get ahead of the field, and now he'll be able to try and use this to attack Sterling as much as humanly possible.
Yeah. Matthew hasn't gained any spots, he hasn't.
Oh!
Who?
Lucas been disqualified,
For blocking pit lane. So,
and Albert's been. That is well, okay.
where's Albert? Oh yeah, Albert's there. Okay, well that's something different, ladies and gentlemen. You don't normally see that every race.
Matthew Elliott right on the back of Connor Paisley for position 8. Sorry, I had to sneeze there.
This is a big train here forming. So you've got Jaden, Connor, Matthew.
Well, here comes Connor around the outside of Jaden into the corner. Can Connor hold the brakes? Yes, he can actually, but he's gonna. Oh, I thought he was gonna go wide there, but it looks like Jaden might have actually found the throttle and let him through.
Yeah, Jaden might have just known that it's not his fight to start fighting just yet.
Tyler Beasley.
7.9.
The top 3 separated by just under over a second.
Just
with
over a second.
And Ken Doyle's not too far back from the party either, so
No. So he could be just looking, and Robin's really kept up with Ken as well. He's not losing time anymore. As Jaden must got back past.
yeah, there was a brief moment where they were going side by side into turn 1.
Jaden's back on the inside into turn 4.
This could get a bit ugly, boys. Just settle it. Oh,
He's
Jaden
normally over and under. Oh.
used a bit of extra corner to get that through.
Matthew's just holding back here. He's not trying to make. Oh, that's very lot of understeer there by Matt.
If I was in Matt's shoes, I'd be kind of shitting myself, waiting for these, hoping that these two either make a mistake or something. But here comes Fabio, who impeded him in qualifying, looking to make things a bit more difficult.
So Matthew's dropped right off the back of these two. Sterling's starting to drop Yevgeny. Tyler's right on the back of Yevgeny now.
And there's DRS too, so let's see what Tyler's who's got the straight line speed. Tyler throws the car out of
they
the.
both got there actually, so that's kind of takes it out of Tyler's hands because they're both running the same. So out of all this, Yevgeny's caught right back up to Sterling now. those 2 bits of DRS. So now he's just got to stay with it. Might be able to do something next lap around.
As Ethan does the fastest lap of the race, he's quite a fair bit back though now, as opposed to the
Yeah, he's got
situation.
fresh tyres as well, having that pit stop just a minute ago.
And Albert would just be sitting there going, "Where the hell is this race gone?" I was up the front, and I think because Albert's start in F4 was beyond a joke. Like, it was shocking. So I'm thinking he must have had another bad start. And
Or Tyler and Evgeny side by side into the last couple of corners. As Tyler actually makes the move, that was very well done, Tyler. But now Tyler's not going to have DRS, but Evgeny will. So he could have just bought his time just a little bit. Evgeny pulls the inside, gets the job done very easily. As he pulls, now he's got another slip of DRS, so all that hard work by Tyler has just gone down the drain in those couple of long straights. As Robin's right on the back of Kenny now as well. So this is a tasty little battle here, and then you got Connor on the back of car 6 in the other McLaren.
Kyle Wilson, just noticed that actually Jaden's come in, which has kind of brought Matt back into the situation where he can challenge. Although he's lost quite a lot of ground to Connor all of a sudden, so my guess is that Matt's just trying to get his confidence back in check and get a move. Oh, here we go. Connor's going to go around the outside again at the same corner.
He favours his outside here, doesn't he?
It's because you can, if you get it right, you can actually get a lot of grip coming out of the outside of the corner because it's part of the racing line. So if you can get your car pictured onto the outside of the corner, it will eventually grip up as you go through. And Kyle's now coming in as well. He's on the hypersoft, so he'll be changing his strategy up.
So we got a four-way. Sorry, Brett. We got a four-way battle here for P2.
Holy crap, we do too. But
Ken and Robin have just caught up to Tyler and Evgeny from all this battling.
And Robin's going to have DRS on Ken, so that'll be a change.
Robin's Robin's jumped Ken.
And Ken had DRS on the others too, so I'm a bit surprised as that the quick.
Evgeny goes wide-ish. That is very close there by Tyler. I'm surprised he's kept his front wing.
And Tyler would be used to racing. Oh, there we go. Evgeny goes horrendously wide and
horrendously oversteering.
And he's going to lose a spot here to probably Robin.
And Robin get.
Oh, can Ken make it 3? They're going to go. Oh, they're going to. Oh, Ken could have easily made that 3 wide as Robin gets carted offline by Evgeny. And Ken decides, and Ken gives
Yev's tyres starting to go, being those hypers.
Ken give Yev a hit up the butt saying, no, that's bad. Bad, Yev, bad. And now Yev goes in for a timeout.
So, Jaden's on the back of Blaze. And
this move is so gutsy, but there we go. There's the primary contact that happens usually when two cars go into that corner, and usually it's weird because you'd think with that kind of contact, the car in front.
Here we've got these other two battling as well for P12.
And Kyle and Ethan. Ethan, of course, not in it for points, just for to redeem himself a little bit from disconnecting from the race lead in F4. Kyle
It'll be good for Ethan though to see what sort of pace he's got against these F3 guys that are regularly in this season, in this championship. So it's a good little stepping stone for him.
And it's also and it also helps him on the case of they might end up racing each other next season when the evaluations bring the drivers in to put them into where they think they should be. So we know that Sterling West, as far as we're aware, isn't going to be contesting next season. He's going to be a commentator for the 8 o'clock bracket. So whether that's F2, F4, F3, F4, we don't know yet. We know he's going to be there for one of them. Definitely know you're going to be there in the comm box for F1 or F2, one or the other.
Yeah, I'll be
in the 10
trying to
o'clock.
get the latest position as possible, since I'm 5 hours behind you guys. Ken's still on the back of Robin here.
5 seconds stop, go penalty for Lorna Cardigan gaining one
Corner cutting,
place.
done, playing pace.
Although he's dropped ground all of a sudden too, so
He has too.
did he
Bit
spin?
weird that Albert jumped in.
Did he
Spin, maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking he must have spun, got an illegal overtake and spun, maybe? Or maybe he got the illegal overtake on
On Blaze
or
when
someone.
he's pushed him off. Yeah.
So Yevgeniy's come out in P8 ahead of
We've
Fabio.
got 3 wide here in turn 2. Sorry, Brett. Albert. Oz. McLaren goes around again. I'd be surprised if Blaze doesn't have a legal overtake there. That was very dangerous. So apart from that, we haven't... Robin's right on the back of Tyler still.
No DRS as far as it shows.
No
It did
DRS, so
Kenzin, so that's quite early for an ultra soft. But
he
he's
still has got slipstream, so it's...
2 stop for Ken. What did
Robin's on the supers, so Robin's doing very well to keep up with Tyler.
He's come back. He's come into form quite a bit, Robin, actually, since his win in Japan.
Yeah.
I guess it must be that this part of the season must be where Robin kind of shines.
Matthew's up to P5 out of all of this. So as much as he's having a quiet race, Yevgeniy's still our first one to pit, so he's really got to be starting to put some pressure on as he's coming up to Nicholas. So this could be a tasty battle. Of course, Nicholas and Robin are within teammates, so as Yevgeniy goes terribly wide coming into the grandstand section.
So Matt's recovered. Well, I wouldn't say recovered, but he's managed to hold him ground a fair bit to stay currently in P5.
Yeah, he hasn't got any damage. He's kept out of that little battle that we were watching earlier. As Nicholas tries to go defensive in the turn 1. Yevgeniy around the outside with the fresher tyres. Just
probably gave
makes that look easy.
Probably cut the corner a little bit from the looks of it, but got away with it. Ken Doyle.
But he might still have a few warnings up his sleeve, so he can do that. Oh, his
both Red Bulls are now out. I think his race was pretty compounded, so I wouldn't be too surprised if that was just him packing it in.
He just putting it in the wall himself. I do that quite regularly, actually, ladies and gentlemen. As Jaden jumps.
Oh, so okay, so we've got a confession now. Then we can't really call it a DNF streak if you've done it to yourself most of the time.
Wow, we still can.
So Robin's lost a bit of ground.
Look, anyway.
A wild Bailey appeared. And you didn't have the Pokeball needed to catch him. Horrible panel.
Get out of his car. So Yevgeniy's right on the back of Matthew now. So Yevgeniy's on a real good charge here.
Matt will probably, with Matt being these two fighting for second in the championship, I think Matt will be just a little hesitant to let Yevgeniy through with ease, but it doesn't look like he has a car really to fight Yevgeniy.
Yevgeniy just drives around.
Yeah, Matt just doesn't have the car. Looks like he's just isn't running a setup that's speedy. It just looks like he's got a car that he's just trying to get through the S's with.
Well, he's on old tyres.
And he's got his teammate too to consider in this situation now, and of course, I think Matt will know that Ken's on a different strategy and on the faster tyre, so shouldn't make it too hard on Ken.
Fresh tyres, yeah.
In fact, there you go, straight away.
There you go. Yep. So Tyler's in the pit after his 11 lap stint on the Ultras.
See, people have been saying the one stop's the way to go, but I haven't really seen anyone really opt to try and push the tyres to that length, because you can see Tyler's gone on the Ultras again, so definitely everyone's running the two-stop. He's going to come out just in front of Ken, but Ken's going to have the run.
Jeez, that was well timed, Ken. He's
just going to slip in front.
Yeah.
I don't think either will have DRS on each other, though. We'll just see that in a second, how that works. No.
The only detection points in the stadium section, isn't it?
Oh, here we go. Tyler down the inside straight away, and that's...
Sends back to the outside,
fuck me. From that angle, it just almost looked like Tyler just flew into the fence, or was heading for the fence, just by the angle of the car. Its trajectory.
Yeah, that was some good racing there by Ken, not to
just give up and say...
Not to ask too much of it, yeah, not to give up the position. So, Sterling might be doing your one stop here, Brett. Being out in the lead, he hasn't had to push.
We'll see definitely who's electing to do what strategies. If you've got the pace to do a one stop, you probably would, but I think ideally in this race a two stop's the way to go, just because of the nature of the circuit. You can see by Sterling's car behaviour that it's not really behaving the way he would like right now, because the tyres are starting to drop off the cliff a little bit as he locks up heading into turn 4 and then through 5.
Quite run 10.
And job done there by Tyler, so that's up to P4 again.
Tyler.
Connor's holding ground in P4. Yeah.
Connor very quickly. It's only a couple of laps. That was a 5-second gap when he passed Matthew for this position.
And this is the difference. Oh, Connor gets very slidey at coming out of the turn 5 bend. But this is this is why the undercut is so strong here in Mexico, just because the way the tyres work. So Connor, who's got 12 lap ultra soft tyres, under threat from Yevgeny, who's got half the distance.
6 lap.
Bit of contact. Oh, there's quite a bit of contact between these two at the moment. Just rear end to front end. Tries to thread the needle.
Tyler gets the job done as well. That was very well done there by Tyler.
Oh, someone set an off in sector 2. Here we go. It is Ethan Lossings. Oh, careful, Ethan. Yeah, that's good, man. Who was that? Was that Sterling? No.
Ooh, Tyler got his fastest lap.
And Robin's now in. He's going to get absolutely mauled by this.
Robin gets swamped. But again, he's gone on to the Ultras, so as your invitational driver drops out, where is he?
He's P12, but he did it. I saw him spin, so I'd say he's probably packed it in. I mean, there's nothing gained from him racing other than to see where he stands. Let's see what Robin can do on these softer, fresher tyres. He should be able to get his way through the field. So at the moment it's looking like, yes, so as you say, Sterling must be looking to try and make the one stop happen on the Ultras to the Supers. But
well, he's got a 27 second lead. I mean, you could pretty much crawl.
Well, he is literally crawling. Oh, virtual safety car, that's why. Sterling, you should have come in, mate. Oh no, because virtual safety car ended right on the point of him in the pit lane. He would have lost so much ground.
Hasty battle here for P2 to P6. This is the most cars we've seen in one part of the track for a long time.
Well, hopefully with F1 2019 we'll see this actually quite a bit more often, and cars not exactly getting affected by the dirty air as Robin gets the run out of the last turn on.
Tyler and Yevgeny are side by side down this massive long main straight.
Oh, and Yevgeny fans back into the throttle. Okay, I'm a bit confused by that, Yev. What was your end game behind that?
He might have just been trying to get behind, get that bit of slipstream because he didn't have DRS. So we knew Tyler was going to be quicker in the straight. But Robin's right on the back of Yevgeny. Oh, Robin goes on the inside of Yevgeny.
Oh,
What
that
a
was
move.
that was a bit aggressive, but I think there is a bit of accountability on that system. I won't go into details about it until after the race, but Robin was pretty initiative there.
Well, he seemed to do it cleanly from the view I had, so that could...
Could be could be a different angle, sort of perspective, different internet.
Yeah. So this is a tasty little battle here. They're still all within each other. And out of all this, Yevgeny's
and
got
Robin
Elvis
is
Tyler's
actually, sorry to interrupt, Robin's starting to give Tyler a real hurry up.
Tyler. Yeah.
In fact, Tyler's going...
Tyler's in the pits.
That's early. What's going on there? He's only been on those tyres for 4 laps.
Yeah, is this a strategy call? Or has he got damage?
He's got damage.
He's got wing damage.
Didn't think it would be that bad though, because he was giving Yevgeny a real hurry up along the race, so I guess...
So that's gonna ruin his race, unfortunately.
Oh, and look at this. Sterling's come in only just in front of Robin. So Robin could make it. And look at that run. Robin's got the run. He's going to go down the inside at the sweeper, and he's got it done.
Got it done.
Of course, Sterling's ultra... Wait, Sterling's come out on the ultras again.
No, he's coming out supers on my screen.
Oh no, yeah. The colours... I'm quite a far bit back from my TV, so the colours of the tyres look almost similar. But either way, it looks like if... I mean, Sterling's going to know that these guys are going to have to come in again, but I'm sure he won't let Robin get away too much. Although, in saying that...
Have a choice. I mean, Robin's tyres aren't all that much older than Sterling, so Sterling might not actually have a choice here.
On Robin's case, yeah, because Robin started on the super softs, and it's just kind of a reverse of the position, well, reverse of the tyres.
Robin could go for the hypers from, you know, from this next stop, and really have some pace at the end of the race. So
I don't think Sterling has DRS on. No.
Because Ken's still on the back of Yevgeny. Tyler's on the back of Albert. Tyler around the outside on Albert. Albert slips in behind him.
Albert thought about a move there, and Tyler actually hesitated for a minute.
So Tyler will be kind of disappointed in himself because, yeah, he's had the pace and he could have got a really good result there.
And Matt will be disappointed in himself because he's just slumped all the way back to P11 and it just doesn't look like he's got the overall pace to
do anything today, which is a bit of a shame.
Of course, the qualifying impediment would have been the biggest kick in the teeth for him, as Sterling does the fastest lap of the race. But he's still not really, is he? He's got DRS.
Oh, he'll have this position before the end of turn 4, that's for sure.
Well, we'll see about that in just a second. We'll just wait and see how they approach the next 2 turns. Sterling goes a bit wide, which does hurt his run a little bit, but we'll just wait and see as Tyler's cleared Connor from the looks of it.
Don't make it now, Rocky.
No, look,
still right on the back of Yevgeny. This is a good drive here by Ken.
And Yevgeny's running really well. These back two are running really worn tyres, so it's.
Oh, this Ken gets a bit tail happy there, being 9-lap old ultras. So Sterling's keeping the gap into Robin. Robin seems to have a quick car in a straight line, but sacrifices a bit here in sectors 2 and 3.
Sterling just made a bit of a meal of the last few corners heading into that, and that's probably killed a good chance of having a good crack on the straight. He was quite close to him the previous lap, which was 4/10, but being 6/10 behind on this run will probably... Oh, he goes to the grass a little bit. He might actually commit here. He's going to commit. But Robin's going to have the line.
Getting back out of it. Try
He's
and
trying,
get the better run out of 2 and 3.
and he goes wide again, loses the rear once more, but he is closer this time. Robin should. Oh, Robin, I would have been. Robin, I would have been more. Oh, he's
gone deep.
very deep. In fact, in fact, Robin actually almost followed his line coming into the second part of the corner. So both are definitely pushing to the absolute limit now. What's going on back here? Because suddenly, all of a sudden,
Jaden's been in the pit. Matt's jumped the McLaren.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Matt's got Nicholas right in front of him now. So this could be a tasty little battle here too, ladies and gentlemen.
So Kyle was on 13 lap old tyres, so that must mean there must have been a mistake here, because all of a sudden Matt went from quite a fair bit back from these guys to suddenly right into the battle with them. So maybe they've both had an off, because yeah, that's a bit unusual. But Matt's definitely now. Here we go again up the front. Sterling looking to try and make another attempt, but just, yeah, like you say, Robin's car's obviously built for straight line speed, but not so much in the corner ability, whereas Sterling's probably opted for the opposite, for a car that's faster in a straight line, but slower in a straight line, but faster in the corner ability.
Faster in the corners, yeah. Which is what I was saying there at the start of the broadcast, Brett. You know, you don't want to be running too much wing because you slow down the straights, but you don't want to be running too less of a wing so you slow for the rest of the lap.
And it comes down, it's management of the setup. So the other thing that you got to take into account is the Parc Fermé effect, which kind of stops you from being able to tamper with your setup during qualifying or during the race, so that you can have a better car in qualifying in the race. But at the same time, weather also plays a part in different aspects as well, because if you've got a car, if you know it's going to rain at a certain point of a race, you've got to be able to you've got to be able to make a setup that kind of attunes to the differences in setup. So you generally build a car, if you know it's going to rain, you generally make a setup based on an in-between of a dry and a wet setup.
Yeah.
So it's very tricky on the best of days to kind of find the right rhythm as to where you can go. Now I think Ken might actually make a move here on Evgeny. He's right up there, but I think this is the kind of the same context as the Robin Sterling factor. I think Ken's car's built for the corners, whereas Yev's car's built for the straights. Because Ken just can't. Ken can't just make a move on him.
Just see P2 and P4 just can't seem to get around them. They've clearly got the pace, and Sterling showed that. He's had the lead for most of the race and pulled away from everybody.
I think we're about to see a move here. Matthew Elliott around the outside of Nicholas Adams at turn 1. That's going to set him up for the inside. There's a bit of contact there between the two.
A bit of contact.
And Matt actually... Oh no, they... No, I think they both had illegal overtakes on each other. That was very... Oh, and Nicholas has actually spun off at the...
Oh, he has too. He's going very deep. But look at that.
I think he locked the rear. Yeah, I know that tyres are overheated. He needs to stop spinning them up. So now stop, slow down. No, he's overcooked them, and he's gonna. Just remember, Nicholas, if you're watching the broadcast, we're watching you, so don't do anything silly.
Just short shift it, Nicholas.
Short shift them, get it back to the pits, and
get it back to the pits, or take as Albert comes in the pit.
Oh, he's gone again.
I was just about to say the two Mercedes were running 6 and 7 there, so that was a good. As Sterling gets Robin. Sorry to change that. We were watching Nicholas and Sterling's got Robin. Ken's fallen back off the FGNA.
No, he's right back on him again now, so through the S's, so everything's kind of changing up and around. Now this will be an interesting telling point. Let's see if our theory is correct. So Robin will now have Darren. Sterling immediately reacts by going straight to the inside.
Yeah.
because let's have a look. So let's look at Robin's car in a straight line. Yeah, look at that. There's a clear difference between the two.
Massive, yeah.
And Sterling
Yep.
locks up, and both cars actually take a bit of a shortcut through the first turn, which I've noticed a little bit at the moment. But here we go again. So, well, I don't want to be. Let's ride it with Sterling and see how much. Oh, it's not too much of a game, but it's obviously enough that it's not a problem, as Yevgeny goes horrendously wide into turn 3. And
That's Tyler.
he's
Oh,
gone into
Tyler.
the... Yeah, I think he went down the
Oh.
fence. Just
That was very weird. So Matthews up to P7 with Jaden right in front of him. Matthews trying to get to the slipstream. Jaden's moving around a few. Don't move too much, Jaden. You'll get a penalty for that, mate.
As
Because he gets a penalty for corner cut in turn 1. So, you can only move once to break your slipstream. Matthews is down on the inside. Can he pull it up? No. Get it back on track.
ooh, something's... What's going on here? Someone's in the fence. Is that Tyler? There's two. Tyler's...
Two
And he's-
Tyler's aside.
That's it,
So
too.
he's tried to kill himself. That's at turn 1, is it?
Can't even retire properly. And now the car will just... Sorry, Tyler, I've had to call you out again on that one. This one you don't need to try and prove me wrong on. One thing I'd love to see out of all this is a safety car, but it looks like it's not going to happen, so... Always,
No,
Sterling gets really
Safety
ragged.
car, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Safety car would really turn everything up on its head, wouldn't it?
Oh, and there we go, first time penalty of the race, so pretty good for all the drivers to not actually be on the naughty list, although there could be a reason for that, I don't know, but I'll investigate it as...
Well, someone had that stop-go penalty, remember? I can't remember who it was.
Oh yeah, that was for corner cutting and then gaining a position, so that would have been a legal
Yeah.
overtake. So, yeah, bad news for Tyler, who's been pretty much one of the top contenders of the whole season since he started in F3, and we'll see him again in Brazil, no doubt, but very unfortunate for Tyler.
Yeah. So Robin still hasn't fallen off of Sterling here.
Oh, we got
As Yevgeny's in the pit.
Ken's already been in, so Ken's gone from the undercut strategy, so will the undercut work? They've just
I was
worked
going to say, where was Ken? But yeah, I didn't notice Ken come in the pit, so
So Yeva's coming
Ken's
down the
coming
thing.
around the last corner now. So this could be very touch and go.
I think Ken's got him.
Yeah, Ken's got him.
Oh,
You can
another.
hear that Renault starting to fire up, coming out of pit lane.
Oh, we got the other Renault. We got the other McLaren in the fence at the Fast S's.
Oh, we have too.
Very unfortunate for McLaren.
He's got no front wing there, so that's a very bad weekend for McLaren.
Caps off Red Bull's horrible weekend as well. But if
Yeah,
oh, and nice
there's
one,
Robbins in.
nice one. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry, Kyle. I caught you on camera with that one. Okay, so Robin's in.
Yeah, Robin's in. So could Ken and Yevgeny get Robin? With the
No,
undercut?
they're way too far back. Oh!
Sterling's left.
Sterling's disconnected. This is critical. Well, not to the championship, I don't think. Unless he isn't able to come back.
He's got a big enough gap. I think he might. Where's Robin coming? Oh, he's at turn 3 already. They should have only gone to turn 1.
I wonder if
Jesus.
I wonder if the game's ghost will actually elect to bring Sterling in.
Yeah. Hopefully he can get an invite.
I think generally, well, that's the thing actually. Unless someone invites him from the thing, we can't do anything about it. And I don't know if there's that function.
Nicholas is right in front of Yevgeny and Ken as Yev gets Ken. As Nicholas gets out of the way. So it's a good little driving there by Ken. As Matthew's bended again in the turn 4. Coming into the little U-turn, double apex. That's very unfortunate for Matthew. He's not having a good weekend either. So, Sterling had a 26-second gap only 2 laps ago when he disconnected, and it's already been cut down to 10 seconds. So he will wanting to get into this, back into his car if he can.
And
so that might be our talk as Jaden's crashed. Where is he?
On the main straight.
On the what? How has he done that? That is a particular weird spot to crash.
I can't say for sure, but he was parked on the left-hand side of the track, but the damage was on the right-hand side, so...
Right, yeah, so whether or not he's tried to move to the outside of someone, and as Robin said, it's quickest lap. So there we go.
He is asking the question, Jaden, why is everyone glitching? So there must be a bit of internet issue, as he will now take the lead of the race. So if we look at the championship stanza from Sterling's perspective, I can't remember, I'll just double check quickly to see what his points gap was. It was...
I feel your pain, Sterling. I've had that happen at Monaco, I think it was. Me and Brett were racing pretty close to each other at the front of the field. And then I got disconnected and I couldn't rejoin.
Last season at Austria, when I was so close to bagging a podium in wet conditions, got disconnected, couldn't come back in. It was absolutely gut-wrenching. So the current gap...
It's a terrible feeling.
So the gap is 34 points between Sterling and Matt, so there's no real massive drop in points for this weekend. If Matt finishes 7th, that's only worth 6 points, so the gap will drop to just under 28 points. On Yevgeny's account though, if Yevgeny finishes second...
in the pits, so you have called it.
Yeah, the ghost has decided.
AI's putting new tyres on Sterling.
So the gap between Matthew Elliott though is only 16 points, so if Yevgeny finishes second and Matt finishes 7th, that's a 12-point gain, so there'll be only 4 points between Matt and Yevgeny heading into Brazil.
Matt's spun it again, coming into the final sector.
He's lucky in the fact that Nicholas is almost half a lap, or almost 3/4 of a lap behind. So he
kind of paid to get past Sterling now.
So Ken Doyle is looking to get his first podium in F3. Or is it second? I'm pretty sure I don't know, I can't be. I think
Very impressed with Robin's drive here. You'd almost have to give him drive of the day, wouldn't you?
Oh, for sure.
You know, apart from Sterling, who comfortably had it in the bag before the game's disconnected him, but Yevgeny does the quickest lap now.
Not this year, fellas, next year.
Yeah. Well, we've got a bit of nothing happening on the track actually, Brett. I'd like to get your opinion on that fastest lap rule, and now that the F1 have brought in.
I think it's stupid, to be perfectly honest with you. I like the fact that if the driver does the fastest lap and then doesn't finish inside the top 10, then the fastest lap just gets negated rather than being delegated to the next driver. I think personally that's a good idea, because it does stop people from doing the fastest lap and then saying, well, hang on, I did the fastest lap, I was in the top 10 when I did the fastest lap, I should still get the point. Or someone saying, well, hang on, that guy didn't finish in the top 10, I should get it because I was the next driver with the fastest lap. But, you know, it's the way it goes. Now, I just did a quick calculation on the point scheme for Robin's championship's sake. If he finishes where he is now, he'll jump to 4th in the championship ahead of Ryan Connolly. So, by 2 points. So, Robin looking quite good to have a strong 4th place finish in the championship if he keeps this momentum up.
Can he get on the podium for the championship?
No, I think at this rate it would almost have to be 2 DNFs in a row for the top 3 and Robin winning both races in order to put a dent into 3rd. So,
yeah. So that would be good for Robin to get a bit of hype out of this race, and coming up to our evaluations at the end of this season, that'll be a good bit of a good little personal boost for him, as the Mercedes have found themselves
4th and 5th again.
Each other again.
But I think this time around, I think it looks like Albert's more on the...
Well, Albert's got the younger tyres.
Last weekend we saw Connor on the faster tyres, so it'll be I'd say there'll be a bit of...
They'll both be feeling about the same way though. 9 laps on the Ultras compared to 16 on the Supers, so, you know, saying Albert's got the younger tyres, they're probably just as much percentage worn as what Connor's are.
But I'm sure that Albert will be more than willing to, Connor will be more than willing to return the favour after USA. Well, I mean, that's just the assumption. Albert's gonna try and go there on the inside, but Connor actually decides to
just put the nose out there to let Connor know that he's there.
You don't want to be doing something silly, because you're on call for giving Mercedes some pretty good points again. So top constructor.
And apart from Williams, you pretty much see Williams and Toro Rosso.
Sterling's managed to get back in, and just at the point where Matt was in a position that he could have taken the position. So unless Matt can get past in the next couple of seconds, which he won't because he's actually coming in.
No, he was still 5 seconds behind Sterling anyway. So back to that. As Albert's got past Connor, the P4. So yellow flags except for 1.
I can't see anything. I think it's just on the account of Matt in the pits, I'm guessing. Matt's obviously, I think Matt's decided to go for the fastest lap.
Back onto that fastest lap, I reckon top 3 shouldn't be able to get the extra point either. And really bring in a championship changing aspect to it.
Oh, he's gone
Sterling gets kicked again. So.
Or maybe he was trying to get back in his car and it wouldn't let him. I personally, I mean, I don't mind if the top 3 are entitled to it, but I reckon that the fastest lap should be set on the fastest tyre. Which would mean that because most drivers in the top 3 wouldn't be on the fastest tyre, they would do the one stop on the slower tyre. So chances are they would do so. Like for Valtteri Bottas, it would have meant he would have had to come in and get on the ultras to do the fast.
You heard him do that radio call within the race last weekend in Australia at about, I think it was 10 laps to go, 8 laps to go. And he actually called James up and said, look, can I come in the pits? I've got a 30-second gap pretty much. Can I come in the pits, put the quicker tyre on and go for the fastest lap? And James was like, no, we'll just keep it at the moment. You've got the fastest lap anyway.
And then, of course, he did do the fastest lap anyway on the older tyres.
But yeah, I just reckon as a championship view, you know, if we can get more drivers to battle for the championship or battle for the for the third step of the championship title. I know it's not worth anything, but it's worth stuff to the team. If you take the top three out of it, you get the mid-pack to push their cars a bit more. And the top three would still just be conserving their cars because, like James said, they're not going to risk a car for an extra point.
No.
And even if the driver does do it without being told that he can, it's repercussions everywhere. So yeah, I just reckon take the top three off it, put those three back down to 11th, 12th, 13th, and then let everyone else have a shot. Personally, that's my view anyway.
Any which way, I think we're about to see a slightly championship changing ramification here for Matthew Elliott. He's gonna get Sterling at the end of the race. I don't think he did the fastest lap that lap.
Well, you might not get Sterling, he's still 8 seconds behind.
I'll just double check that fastest lap thing. So currently held by Yevgeny at the moment, although Matt's not too far off it.
You've already caught 2 seconds up on Sterling, so you should get him. So we've had a pretty exciting race, and now it's just all died off the last couple of laps. As you can see, there's gaps. Our closest gap is Matthew and Sterling. So there's not a lot going on.
No, it appears not, as actually Robin now puts a lap on Sterling, as Matt now, as Fabio does the fastest lap of the race. And speaking of Fabio, he's just not long released the beta test app for the TransNation Esports series, which we've rebranded for the app itself. So the TransNation app is out on development, and once we get it finalised, we'll be able to release it to the public so that they can see where your favourite driver is, what track we're going to, and all that kind of information. You'll be able to see the championship battle picture in higher contrast, because we of course can't show it on here. You'll be able to watch, see the race results, see the stewards reports and all that kind of stuff to get a better understanding of the championship. So once that is out, we will release it to the public for public viewing. So at the moment,
and Robin's in the pits. This is strange by all means.
That's
final lap.
Nicholas.
Sorry,
no.
Robin.
So Robin's coming around the last turn. In fact, Robin's actually coming under immense attack by Matthew Elliott on the final lap. But I think if I was Robin, I'd let Matt through and let Matt finish the final lap, but I don't think he's going to do it. But it's going to be 2 wins this season for Robin Kreft, and that'll be a huge boost of confidence for him heading into the final 2 races of the season. So Robin Kreft wins the Mexican Grand Prix. Yevgeny Delacruz, great drive from him this weekend. It's a return, it's a bounce back, and it's a podium after.
Yeah.
And Ken Doyle, at least there'll be some celebrations at Toro Rosso, not so much on the championship scale, but for a race scale, Ken Doyle will make a podium appearance.
Very well done.
I'm pretty sure he did make the podium in the last race, but I'll not 100% sure on that one. Ken. Sorry, just go. So we've got one of our drivers in today. At the moment, I didn't quite catch who it was actually, but
Yevgeny and Robin both in.
So Yevgeny, Robert and Ken. So Ken, we'll start with you, Ken. I'm trying to make this piece together. This is either your first or second appearance on the podium. Okay, so your first podium appearance in the Teen F1, F3 category. Great result for you and for your team. Just talk us through your race today. Well, it's a great result for you anyway, mate, and I'm sure you'll be buzzing about it for days to come. So enjoy the podium. We'll see you again in Brazil. Yevgeny, it's been a long time, mate. A very long time since we've seen you on the podium. Good return to form, and looked like you had a really good battle at the start to really put some pressure on the race leader, and then kind of fell away. And Sterling's misfortunes become your return to the podium.
Yeah, I had luckily, I don't know what happened with him. I guess some disconnection or his internet fallout. I don't know. Just I had so much lag at some point. I'm sorry for you, Ken. When we both passed, I don't know, Ghost Ribbon or something. I touched you, I guess. So I apologize for that. It was not meant to be. But I'm happy with my pace. Yeah, I thought podium would be available, and then Sterling gone, Bullet Boy gone. So yeah, I'm happy with P2.
It's a great return to form, and hopefully you can keep this form up going into the next round. I believe you're now only 4 points behind Matthew Elliott for second in the championship, so that's a good return to form, and we'll see you there. Robin, your form is just getting better and better as the season comes to a close. Guessing that these last few rounds of the championship must be your ideal favourite, because you've just been on fire since Japan to finish first, second and first again. So just talk us through your process of this, and congratulations yet again for another win.
I am quite happy with my satisfactory.
Well, thanks for that, Robin, and congratulations on your win. Mark, you got anything left to say before we close?
Nah, great race there by everyone, and again, condolences to Sterling for his bad internet connection. We see everyone at Brazil for the Interlagos.
And of course, Interlagos is actually our next. Interlagos will be our actual destination after later on today for the Trans Nation Supercars Championship. So a bit of earliness for the Supercars for that. That's at 4 o'clock later this afternoon. I thought it was them there making all that racket. Anyway, so that's all the time we have for this week for Trans Nation Formula One's broadcast of the Mexican Grand Prix Round 19 for F3, Round 9 for F4. Brett Keane and Mark Bratby signing out from Mexico. Tune in again tomorrow at 8 AM New Zealand Standard Time for F1, and then 11 AM Standard Time for F2. So, till then, I actually don't know what they say goodbye in Mexican, so I won't bother, but we'll see you again in Brazil.